쟤한테 있나? 아, 이거 가면 알 것 같은데. 그쵸? 비켜. 비켜인다. 없는데 여기도? 뭐야 이거? 어? 아 뭐야? 아 뭐야? 아 여기는 뭐 없고 그게 수갑 푸는 열쇠 같아요. 수갑을 풀어보죠.
That's it. You're free.
경찰복인가 저거?
Here, put this on. They're having a break. If you're quick, you'll be able to slip out without being noticed. Head straight to the exit. Don't stop, don't talk, don't even think. Just walk.
I don't know what to say.
Just say you're gonna save your son. I hope I won't regret that.
누가 봐도 딱 알 것 같은데. 봐봐 왜 몰라? 바로 앞으로 지나갔는데. 그쵸? 나도 도망가야 돼. 나도 이러면 살아남을 수가 없어. 도망가야 돼. 똑똑한 남자. 아, 제가 똑똑하답니다. 금요일 11시 43분.
Lauren?
I'm sorry, Scott.
You should
Well-
have listened to me, Mr. Shelby. I told you to drop the investigation.
Your son is a serial killer. How many people does he have to kill before you turn him in?
Gordy has his faults, but he's still my son. You have no children, Mr. Shelby. You can't possibly understand. You leave me no choice. Your investigation
뭐야.
is over.
오!
For good.
설마 익사? 나 익사시키. 아 로렌도 죽대. 살아나가보죠. 아예 죽으면 안되는데. 뭐야 로렌.
Lauren! Lauren, wake up! Lauren!
아, 풀어야돼 빨리 유리창 깨진다.
Goddamn fool. Nothing's gonna work if I don't switch on that ignition.
시동이 켜져요. 근데 물속에 들어갔는데. 켜지 나오네. 아, 켜지지 않나 물속에. 침수되면. 아, 물이 아직 안 들어왔구나. 안돼 살아야 돼 진짜. 아이 기절했어 얘. 일어나 임마. 일단 풀어줘야 될 것 같은데. 아이 뭐야 이게 또 안돼. 아이 반찼어 물. 반찼어요 물. 어떡해요. 죽는 거 아니겠지? 아이크 아이크 야야야야야야. 됐어 살았어.
I was gonna take up swimming again. This isn't exactly what I had in mind. You got a car back at your place? Mine's obviously pretty fucked up.
Yeah, sure. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go settle a few scores. Come on, I'll take you home. Lock your doors and windows and don't let anybody in but me. Okay?
Be careful, Scott. I don't want to lose you.
뭐야 당신을 잃고 싶지 않아요. 사랑에 빠진 건가? 아주 만족한 표정. 썩서 한 번씩 날려주고. 수영 강사. 와 설마. 와. 와 씨. 쟤는 무슨 잘못이야? 경고. 다 죽이는 거 아니야? 와 씨. 아이고.
Fucking asshole.
와 씨. 뭐야. 아, 나 죽는 거 아니야? 아니, 너무 빨라, 근데. 아니, 뭔가 터프하게 들어갔다가. 뭐야, 존나 터프하게 들어갔다가 존나 처먹고 나오네? 너무 빨라. 그러면 9시 7분 저거 버튼 다 하면 어떻게 돼요? 걔 죽이나? 자, 일부러 이런 겁니다. 다른 루트를 보여주기 위해서.
Hello, I'm looking for Anne Shepard's room.
Please sign the visitor's book. Are you a member of the family?
Yeah, you could say that.
Oh, she'll be pleased to have a visitor. No one ever comes to see her. With the Alzheimer's, she has trouble remembering things, but
Alzheimer,
it'll still
okay.
please her. You know. It's room 19 at the end of the corridor.
Thank you.
19.
Only a few hours left before Sean Mars dies. Hope I'm not wasting my time. Room 19. Where is that? John Shepard died 30 years ago. Hope his mother has all the answers to this puzzle.
여긴가? 한 칸 더 가야 되는 것 같아요. (20) 여기 있네요.
Hello, Mrs. Shepard.
Is it time for my pills already?
No, Mrs. Shepard,
They're never on time with my pills. I don't know what they do here. In the other hospital, they were always on time. But here...
My name is Madison Page. I'm a journalist. I'd like to ask you some questions about your son.
I don't like this hospital. The food isn't very good, you
자기를
know.
발만하죠. 이 할머니.
You had a son named John, and John had a twin brother.
Do you have my pills? It's time for my pills.
Try to remember, Mrs. Shepard. John's twin brother was placed with a foster family after the accident. What was the name of the foster family?
I asked them for a television, you know. They said I didn't have enough
이
money.
할머니가
It's a pity.
진짜.
I'm fond of television.
이 할머니가.
Do you remember John?
My Johnny. He is a good little boy, you know.
Your other son, Mrs. Shepard, John's twin brother. What was his name?
What other son? I have
다른
no
아들이
other
없대.
son. I never had any children.
I think your son is in trouble, Mrs. Shepard. He's done some terrible things. I need to find him. Do you understand?
Terrible things you're telling me. He never came to see me. Can you believe it? In 10 years, never. No one forgets their mother, do they?
I know what happened at Carnaby Square. Do you remember?
카나비 광장.
Carnaby Square. I think I used to live there a long time ago. We didn't have much money at the time, you know. We had to make do with very little.
Mrs. Shepard, your son may be linked to a series of murders. Perhaps you have some information that could help the investigation.
Are you a new nurse? Where are my pills?
아, 얘기가 안 통하는구만. 속이 경일기야. 안 되겠어.
All right, no point in wasting my time. I won't learn anything more by staying here. You don't seem to get many flowers, Mrs. Shepard.
No, but I love them. My son knows that I love flowers. I know he'll bring me some.
곧? 사진이다.
Are these your children, Mrs. Shepard? John and his brother? Is that them?
They're good little boys. Their father never looked after them.
좋은
Always
아이들이었어.
drinking. They didn't have an easy life, you know.
아무것도 없는데?
All right, no point in wasting my time. I won't learn anything more by staying here. This woman might be the origami killer's mother.
Did you make these origami figures?
My little paper animals. They played with them for hours. I showed my boys how to make them, you know.
종이접기.
Yes, your boys, Mrs. Shepherd. John and... what was your other son's name again?
My other son? I only had one son.
아들이 하나뿐이니
My
계속
little Johnny.
아까워서.
It'd take days, if not longer, to find the name of the family that adopted her son. Sean Mars would be dead by then. Seems to be working. She's remembering stuff.
보여줄 게 또 없을까?
Gotta find something else to show her.
종이접기 하고 있죠? 쓸데없는 짓이야.
I love origami, but that's not my favorite one.
내가 좋아하는 게 아니래. 아니야. 펼쳐. 펼친 다음에 그거를 찾아서 접으면 될 것 같아. 살인에 이용됐던 뭐였지? 강아지였다. 강아지인 것 같아. 이건 것 같아요. 나도 잘 모르겠어. 됐다.
Oh, you know how to do these little dogs too. My children loved origami. I taught them how to do it. John loved the little dogs. He always wanted to call them Max. Max? All dogs with the same name. I was wasting my time telling him they couldn't all have the same name. But he always wanted his paper dogs Max. It's funny, isn't it?
맥스.
Her memory is coming back. Don't stop now. Just remember.
뭐 쭉 떠올릴 만한 거 없나?
Alright, no point in wasting my time. I won't learn anything more by staying here.
아니 여기 나갔는 데 있잖아. 다시 들어가. 아니 덜 끝났어. 아니 이게 뭐 하는겨? 무슨 얼굴 보고 있어. 잠깐만. 뭔가 기억을 더 찾을 만한 게 없나?
Alright, no point in wasting my time. I won't learn anything more by staying here.
이 할머니와의 대화는 끝난 것 같죠? 더 이상 얻어낼 게 없는 것 같아요. 가도록 하죠. 이 간호사랑 얘기해볼까?
Alright. Does Mrs. Shepherd ever talk about her past?
It's not all very clear to her now. Sometimes she'll remember the oddest things, though. I suppose if she sees something that reminds her of her past.
Did she ever mention her sons?
Sons? Well, she often mentions John.
존.
I think he drowned.
Does she ever talk about her other son?
I didn't know she had another one. I've never heard her mention it.
다른 아들이
I'm looking for her other son. He was adopted. I mean, he's probably changed his name. Is there any official documentation on Mrs. Shepherd?
No, there's nothing really. Nothing about her family. I guess if her son was adopted, then she's the only one who could tell you about that. Sometimes, if you show her things, it seems to trigger a memory from her past. You might get it to remember.
오케이.
Thanks for the advice.
아니 그렇게 했는데 잠깐만 다시 들어가 봐야 되는 건가? 여기 19 아, 이 할머니 이상해. 아이씨.
Show her things that take her back.
과거를 기억할 수 있는 물건. 아, 이런 거 하고 해야 되나? 아니, 사진은 못 꺼내네. 아, 사진 보여주면 될 것 같은데.
Show her things that take her back.
아, 맞다. 이 할머니 이상해.
Show her things that take her back.
할멈. 뭐지? 꽃 갖고 해야 되나?
Show her things that take her back.
아, 계속 헛소리만 하고 있어. 뭐지? 여기서 할 건 다 끝난 건가?
Show her things that take her back.
꽃. 이거 꽃 필요할 것 같았어, 아까 보니까. 한 칸 더.
What a lovely orchid. My sons loved orchids. We used to grow them in the back. When John died, I laid orchids on his grave. I cried when they told me. I'd already lost one of my children, and now they were taking away another one, you understand.
다른 하나?
The foster family, Mrs. Shepherd. What was the name of the foster family that adopted John's brother?
They were really very nice people. I met them, you know. In the beginning, I used to go and see my little boy. And then I got sick and I couldn't go any longer. Perhaps he thought I'd forgotten him. He must have thought I didn't love him anymore.
그렇구나.
His name, Mrs. Shepherd. What was his name?
But I loved him. If you only knew how much I missed him.
Please, Anne. His name. What was his name?
이름이 뭐야?
Come closer.
더 가까이 오래. 아이 뭐야? 나는 왜 안 알려줘? 아이 치사하게 지들끼리만 귓속말하고 자빠졌네. 너무하네.